Hello, everyone. Happy time of day. I hope you're doing well, whether it be morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. I'm joined once again by Barry. I'm Ant, and we are going to be talking about the latest episode of season 2 of a series that I think used to be called Star Trek Picard. So this episode is titled 2 of 1. We'll get into it in a minute with the blurb. But first of all, how you doing, B?
I'm doing well, Ant. I just finished painting the ceiling, so I don't know why people need to know that, but I have. So I'm looking forward to talking some Picard stuff. I say looking forward, hold that thought.
Yeah. This is going to be a fun one.
Well, I don't know. Depends what side of the fence you're sitting on, really. I'm sure there's people that will get to the end of this episode and go, no, that wasn't as fun as they made it out to be.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see.
You'll see. Oh, no, that's Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just not jump ahead of ourselves.
So 2 of 1. Here's the old blurb. Let me just scroll to the right because I've zoomed in on a web page because I'm old. With Talon's help, Picard and the crew infiltrate a gala on the eve of a joint space mission to protect an astronaut they believe to be integral to the restoration of the timeline. Cora makes a startling discovery about her father's work.
I find it interesting, just to get the ball rolling, I find it interesting that blurb mentions that... is it Cora?
Yeah, Cora, yeah.
Cora, it says Cora makes a startling discovery about her father's work or whatever. Well, that is literally 5 minutes at the end.
Yeah, 5 minutes at the end, and to be fair, it was the one thing, the rest of the episode was sort of kind of nothing to do with that, and then you have that bit, and to be fair, that's the one bit I wouldn't put in the blurb, because it's the one bit that was mildly surprising in that it happened in this episode.
Yes, yeah.
Rather than the actual event itself, I suppose.
Yeah, it just, yeah. Also, as well, I'm being nitpicky already. I was thinking 9 times. So obviously, both of us work in IT. It's the important note, and it's a thing that's drummed into me. Even though I now pretty much work from home all the time, when I get up and I leave my computer, I lock my workstation. It's it's a force of habit.
Yeah, Windows L, where you go.
Yeah, where you go. And the fact that you've got this guy who's supposed to be, this kind of ahead of his time scientist and blah, 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 blah. How easy was it for her to get onto his computer and just open up all them top secret files of all them experiments?
Yeah, there weren't even a hidden folder saying,
no,
open me.
No, you would have thought that he might have thought to himself, well, I need to be careful just in case.
Yeah, a little bit of encryption.
Or just a password.
Yeah. I'm sweet. I was going to say he didn't Windows L because maybe he was on a Mac, but he can't have been on a Mac because Apple won't allow bad guys to use their products in TV shows.
There you go.
So it would have been something like whether Windows or not, I don't know. But yeah, we've jumped ahead.
We've jumped ahead. Let's go.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do the opposite of what we've done is we've done like the episode did, where we've shown you something that happens near the end, so that we can now jump back to the beginning of our review and talk about the opening scene.
Yes.
That irritated me more than it did when they did it in episode 1. And it's that thing of I hate it in shows when they do this. We talked about it in episode 1, but when they kind of do the kind of like, oh look, something's happened. Let's see how we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, especially in this episode, that smacked very heavily of not much happens this episode. let's put something in to keep you hooked.
Yeah, because nothing really happened.
No, certainly nothing that made any sense happened.
I mean, really, what happened was they tried to pull a kind of Ocean's 11 type thing where they had to sneak into a party. It was just chock full of cliches. You had that cliche of her trying to break into the system whilst they're trying to get in, and it's the classic, I've just got to read your card, your ID. Oh, it's not coming up. I'll give it, try it again.
So it's like, because I've made a note about that, right? And normally with those things, it's I'll try it again, and it's straight away, and they go in, right? How long did he wait for that second result to come through? I'd have been on your bike, mate.
At what point
it was
do you
right.
go?
Every other card has worked first time, dude.
Yeah,
I've seen films.
yeah.
I've seen Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I was going to say, at what point do you go? Hang on a minute. Maybe someone somewhere is trying to hack to challenge guy's identity so he could get in. That's why he's trying to buy time. Do you know, it wasn't even. But I would allow that. It was just the clichéness of it. It was just like seeing this like so many times.
Yeah.
I would have rather them. Sorry, I would have rather it just gone smoothly. That would have been the surprise.
Yeah. If you'd have like given in to the woke in a bit earlier and got in a bit quicker. So the thing with me as well, right, with that, it's they knew they were going to have to wait for her to actually break free and do stuff. But they knew she was going to be captured, so they knew she probably wasn't just going to be left in the room on her own. Although, don't get me started on why they locked her in that room instead of in a broom cupboard or something. But with a guard outside, or just kicked her out, frankly.
Yeah.
But right, if I knew, like, let's say you were going in, right, you were the infiltrator and you were going to deliberately get captured, and you're like, this is going to take a bit longer than I was hoping it to. I wouldn't have got in the queue yet.
No, you just wait.
There was plenty of people behind them. It was tension for the sake of tension.
Yeah, you just wait. And the thing is, as well, it's like it's not even like you have to be there in a pre-arranged time or anything like that, because you've got communicators. So it's like she can just go, yep, I'm in now. And you go, okay, and you just get in the queue.
You get in the queue.
There was no sense that they needed to be in at a particular time, because, I don't know, if they didn't get in for the first 10 minutes, then they wouldn't have got a chance to see her or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because she was going to shipped away to another room or whatever. There was no urgency about it.
No.
Other than, clearly they want to get in to have a drink or whatever.
I mean, I get that maybe they wanted to get in before happy hour finished or something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I get that. But, it was just...
So, I mean, a couple of positives, right? So there's a couple of things I did like, actually, about the early part of the episode as well, which was I liked Talon's line from Picard when she was talking to him about Laris. And she says, oh, thanks for that. Now I know what it was like when you lie. After he says, oh yeah, she's no one important, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I quite like that. And it was a nice delivery as well. And the other thing that I quite liked was a little moment from Raffi where she went to the bar and almost ordered alcohol after, because the entirety of the first season, she was on and off the wagon, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And I quite liked it because you could see kind of like, oh, I'll just have the one. No, fine, club's over, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I really like that, as she really sold that moment to me. So those little moments, and again, the actors are great. Although, did Seven do anything this episode?
Be sassy.
Did she even say anything though?
I can't even remember.
Because I remember a couple of looks, a couple of glances, but I don't remember.
I think she did. I can't remember.
I was just thinking that's the easiest episode for you ever.
Yeah, I think, and going back to sort of Raffi, you're right. I thought that was quite good. I wonder if they're setting it up so she will end up falling off the wagon.
Just getting pissed with Guinan somewhere.
Yeah, but the whole kind of I think part of the problem with her arc is it just hasn't been earned. It's not set. It wasn't set up in the right way. Her relationship with Elnor all happened. I know I said this before, but it all happened off screen.
Off screen, yeah.
And so their relationship in the first season was they were crew members. I don't remember them being particularly close. I mean, I could be mistaken.
No, I think there was maybe towards the end there was like that kind of like almost mother-son bond starting maybe, but I don't remember it if it was.
It didn't stick. I mean, if it was, it didn't stick in my mind. But also as well, she's because how long is between seasons? Was it like 18 months? Or
I think it was 18 months. Yeah, year and a half. Yeah.
But she's like a Starfleet officer. So surely she's used to losing people.
Yeah, you'd think.
I'm not saying that should make things any easier or anything like that. that's when, because it all happens off screen, you know, the fact that she's kind of seeing in places and really struggling and all the rest of it just doesn't. It should affect me, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
So in a different way, I know it's obviously there's much more history, so it's a bit of a cop out to say this, but when you watch the end of Wrath of Khan and Spock dies, and then you go straight into Star Trek 3 and everything that Kirk does, which is extreme, you know, steals the Enterprise, blows the Enterprise up, you know, does all these things just to try and get his mate back. And I think there's a bit where I think Spock's dad says to him, but at what cost, you know, your ship, your son, you know, and then I think Kirk says something like, you know, if I hadn't have tried, the cost would have been my soul. And you buy it. You buy it because of the relationship that these two friends have had over years, and we've seen it.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to do the same sort of thing. But my problem is, because I haven't seen it here, it's all tell, no show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I completely agree with
you. They're telling me. They're just telling me. Oh yeah, she's really sad because Ernal's died, because they're really, you know, there was a mother-son bond between them and blah blah blah. I'm like, I didn't, other than the stuff in the first episode, I didn't see it. In some ways, it would have been better had he been around for longer, and then they could have worked to establish that more, and then have killed him.
Yeah. Even if it had been a couple of 3 episodes, you'd have something behind it.
Yeah.
Because you can show that history in a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Really get a feel for it, and then boom, take him away, sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. That was the worst segue ever. It's good when we've just been talking. It wasn't. Yeah, I was listening, B, honestly.
No.
Yeah, no, I was just going to move on to something else. So, I mean, I don't know who staffed this party, but those guards, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and I'll get on to Dr. Sung in a bit, but specifically the guards, it's like, oh yeah, see that guy over there? Trouble, mate. And they kind of vaguely loom at him.
Yeah.
He saunters away from one and towards another, saunters away from that guy, and then the lights go out, leaving it, let's face it, half light. And it's like they're frozen. It's like they're the worst NPCs in a video game ever. It's like playing Metal Gear Solid 1 or something.
It's not like Picard's kind of, you know, it's not like Picard's spry. It's not like he's going to suddenly like sprint off, is he? It's like, just go and grab the Odin and kick him out.
Yeah, and then they just let him walk upstairs. There's no guards upstairs apparently in like the little gallery bit where the other Picard's waiting.
Yeah.
You know, and again, moving on, that's a nice segue into something that was good. Again, you know, Picard's kind of like inspirational stuff, you know, works generally.
Yeah.
And you know, it did work in this, and although it was a bit corny, I did quite like at the end of when they'd had the conversation, and she goes like, you know, who would like to come on the trip? I think you'd look good I think you'd be useful in the cockpit, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I quite liked that. I less so liked the whole stupid, oh, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
See, that's the bit. You were doing all right. You got to that bit. And I was like, yeah, that was a bit for me. I was just like, oh, it's like 101 time travel. They're just,
Yeah.
It's just like they've got a book of like time travel cliches. It's like, look, we've not used this one. You know, it's just, it's just, and again, I have to come back to, and yes, we are being quite hard on it, but you know, it's a review show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got to give my thoughts as I see them.
Exactly. We're not going to sugarcoat it.
No, and my thing is like, again, we're in episode 6 of, you know, it's 10 episode show. They've been in this time now for what, 3 episodes? Was it 4 episodes? 4 episodes.
So there's only 2 episodes out of it because it was the first episode, and then the second where they were in the good timeline. I mean, the bad timeline.
Yeah. We still don't know what she's going to do.
Mm.
We still don't know why Q even sent them there in the first place. And we still don't know what's going on with Q. We've got 4 episodes to kind of wrap it all up and get back to the future, which probably means then we're not going to get a lot of time once they get back. And it's just meandering. To me, I still feel, given the stakes, which is literally, we have to help this woman go on this particular mission.
So she can find the apparently sentient microorganism. And make humanity suddenly not racist or something. I don't know.
Whatever it is. And obviously, I'm guessing there's more to it than that. But essentially, it's an episode of Quantum Leap.
Mm.
You know, and old Sam Beckett was able to wrap this up within 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's taken them like 4 hours have gone, and it was like, we still there? What's going on? And there's 5 of you, or however many there are of them. It just, and I think because there is so many of them running about, what kind of happens is there's very little for them to do.
Mm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's a shame because we said before, there's a great bunch of characters. You know, and it's like those first 2. I keep thinking back to those first 2 episodes, and it's like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, I just want them behaving like that, not how they are now.
Well, it was like, and it's a bit inconsistent. So we go from Rios being, newly deported and all sorts, and on prison bus and all the rest of it.
Such a total shift.
All that horrible kind of stuff that he was going through, what they're trying to say about, border patrols and, and about ICE officers and stuff like that. And he goes from that to kind of basically there with a cigar going, oh, smoke a cigar. Oh, I love this time.
I love this. Wow, it's amazing. Look at the match.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, oh, you like it? Yeah, it's so dirty. It's so this and it's so that. Yeah. Hang on a minute, mate.
And I met a hot doctor.
Yeah.
And then nearly got deported.
It was really, it just felt jarring. If anything, what would have been better would have been that you were still affected by it and just going like, I can't believe this is what this time is like. Do you know what I mean?
No wonder they had real alcohol.
But you could have still in some ways got a kind of gag out of it. But it just felt to me like you've just done a bit of a 180 and all of a sudden it was, you were enjoying it. And so was Seven. She's enjoying it. But again, we're being told, like, she was there and she was talking to people. I think she was drinking, and I think Rafi made some comment about she's enjoying it because she hasn't got the implants and stuff like that. But but we're being told it. We haven't got there's a more of an emotional depth you could have plumbed with that.
Yeah, especially with a character like Seven, who let's face it, most of the audience know.
Yeah,
because I can't imagine there are many non-Star Trek viewers watching this, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I mean, you kind of ruined a little segue I was going to do a minute ago as well by carrying on. I was just going to say, so I'm going to rewind. I'm going to jump back again, like 4 minutes earlier.
4 minutes,
right? So you mentioned Sam Beckett, obviously, in Quantum Leap.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to say, so Sam Beckett, obviously, Scott Bakula, obviously Captain Archer in Enterprise. Mm-hmm. Opening credits of Enterprise, there was the old shuttle on the ceiling. From that kind of like, in the opening things of
I got faith in my heart, nothing's gonna do. I got faith in my heart, I can do anything. Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And I was actually bugging along to that. You can't see it though. Yeah. Because I do quite like that theme tune. It's not a Star Trek theme, but I do like it.
It seemed appropriate to have a random bit of singing in this episode, seeing as there was a random bit of singing in
another segue. Episode. See, now we're going to have to jump back again. We're going to have to do 2 minutes earlier in a minute. But yeah, no. So in the opening credits, there's it goes through like the ship and the thing, and the airplane and the space shuttle, and then one of the things on the way through to Phoenix One, or was that what Cochrane's ship was called? Was it Phoenix One? Anyway, whatever. But one of the ones in between was the I don't know, it's some shuttle. It's got a name and a number. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But that was the one that Picard said, look at that, and what do you see? And she calls it Spike or whatever. So that was a reference, and that's a kind of Easter egg I can get on board with, because it's the kind of thing that if you know, or if you go looking, you find. It's not like, here's a big winky thing, So let's jump back 2 minutes. Let's go 2 minutes earlier to random singing.
I mean, and even that was a cliche.
Yeah, completely.
We've got to stall for time. Then all of a sudden, someone's up singing to stall for time.
Yeah.
But and I've seen people say this online, and part of me wants to go, maybe it's the Borg who was able to control stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But it's the fact that like all the lights go out. Okay, I can buy that. The spotlight comes on her. Okay, but it's the fact that the entire band know exactly what she's singing.
Yeah, but no, come on, mate. Come on. We've all been out. We've all done it. We've been out in a pub or something. The power goes off. And, you stand up and you're like, it's cold outside in the mountain tonight. And a spotlight just appears out of nowhere. And then like a band, I've literally had bands walking in off the street, mate. Yeah. They were just passing, they've heard me, and they start coming up, let it go. Telling you, it happens all the time. So I completely bought that. There was no issues with that whatsoever.
Okay, I'll take it back then.
I mean, to be fair, I do have that same red dress. So
yeah, and there was some good stuff between her and the sort of Borg Queen, but you knew she was going to get taken over.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting it to take a little longer.
So did I.
And it was kind of like the whole aha. I've been trying all night to get you to have some endorphins, because we all know endorphins are the thing that let Borg into your head.
I thought they just got in regardless.
No. You've got to be really happy. Like Picard, when he took over, he was at the happiest point in his life.
I suppose, though, to be playing devil's advocate, the Queen's on her own and she's in her head, and it's already established that Agnes was pretty good at kind of keeping her at bay. So maybe it was a way of like getting the defenses down rather than the normal way.
That's fair, because okay.
That was how I read it. I was, I gave him the benefit on that one. But I was talking positives. In one respect, I'm glad that they didn't, because I thought the whole her talking to herself thing was going to get stretched out for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
With the whole kind of, hang on a minute, who are you talking to? Oh, no one. Hey, Yeah. So I was quite glad they didn't lean into that and literally, nope, one episode and then the Queen's taken over.
See, the other thing about that is I got a bit odd, because there was a couple of times where she was clearly just talking to herself, like just in the party, quite out loud.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of times where she's on the comms doing it, and then she turns the comms off and stuff. And not one of these experienced Starfleet officers thought, hang on a minute, something's not right here.
I mean, they have. To be fair, the Borg Queen's got a point. They have pretty much left her to her own devices.
Yeah.
To the bit where they get, we'll get on to the end, and I get the fact that there's an emergency, but they literally sort of look around and go, "Oh, where's Agnes?"
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. Me neither. Oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but hang on a minute, you're all in a strange time. Yeah. The clock's ticking. One of your team's gone missing.
And has been acting dodgy all night.
Do you not think someone should maybe try and track her down? Yeah, plus, she's probably the one person that can actually help to get you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I said, and then the bit where he kind of gets, when he's walking back with Renee, and and then you get Dr. Song basically trying to run her over. A couple of thoughts around that was like, one, you're some kind of like super scientist. You couldn't come up with a better way to take her out than like, I'll just run her over.
No, we all know. Come on, B, you should know this. You're an intelligent man. if you're at a party trying to stop someone doing something, there's only two ways to do it. First, you send your guards at some dodgy old man. When that doesn't work, you hit him with a car.
No, but he was trying to hit her. He wasn't even trying to hit the card.
You hit her with a car. That's it. They're the only two options there.
Yeah.
And then when you miss, you only get one shot with the car. You can't turn around.
Yeah, or reverse.
Or do anything else. That's it. You've got one shot. Cause
I mean, to be fair, I also get the fact that actually for him it was a big deal what he was doing, and he needed his courage just to do that bit of it. And I think he's done that, and he's gone, oh crap, I've taken out the wrong person. Plus I've knocked someone over. I can't. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of, I got that he wasn't thinking rationally enough to sort of go, hang on a minute, let me just do a UE and come back and try again.
Yeah, I don't buy it. When you're in that kind of rage, you do it again.
Yeah, okay. Perhaps you've obviously got more experience in it than I have then.
Yeah, the amount of people, mate, I've just
run over.
A bad day at work.
But I think this guy is like, a super scientist. I can't think of what his actual role is, but he's a geneticist. That's it. He's like a big time geneticist. You mean to tell me he couldn't like knocked up a quick poison?
Yeah, or anything else.
Anything else?
I mean, all he had to do was stop getting on a flight, right? So, as you say, he could have just slipped some laxatives in a drink.
Yeah, but or even the bit where he goes he walks in, which I thought was quite a smooth move, and she's like, oh, thanks for your massive, the massive donation and stuff.
Is there anything I can do?
Welcome to the board. Is anything you can do? I thought he was going to say, yeah, you can kick her off the mission for a start.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact, actually, there is that old dude, kick him out. I thought that's what you know what I mean? You got yourself onto the board, and that's the only thing you want to do is kick an old dude outside. Yeah. Okay. That's probably thinking that's the easiest 20 mil we've made. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it just, and then obviously it led on to so here's another thing as well. So Picard got knocked down and was unresponsive, and Rios is like, yeah, I know we can take him, but I'd need to watch that bit again. But I'm assuming it's like on a fairly busy street. How did they get him from there to the doctor's clinic?
Well, you see, I don't know if you know, but there's this thing called because they wrote it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly that. They were in a gala, which, let's face it, even if it wasn't a busy street, it had security.
Yeah,
that would have been seen. People would have been all over that noise, and then they're like, "We can't move him. We need to get him to a hospital." Oh, I know somewhere. Just fireman's lift him.
That's what it made, and also Renee was right there. This lovely old guy who had effectively saved her life got knocked down. She saw it all, and then she just does one.
Yeah.
And you didn't even see them. It would be, in some ways, it would have been better if they'd sort of gone, yep, don't worry, we can get him help. You need to get inside. You don't want to be a part. Do you know what I mean? You need to get inside. We can help him. But 1 minute he's on the ground, and the next minute he's at that place. I'm like, but how? At least if they somehow had, maybe we can access the ship's reserve power and do like a site-to-site transport and get him there and wait for her to have a back turn, and then they use the transport and she turns around, they're gone. So at least something like that. But to not have anything, and we've just got to assume that. Well, we just have to. I didn't have enough information to assume, unless I've missed something.
No, I completely agree. And again, it's one of those things that annoy me about these kind of time jumps, because it becomes a lazy narrative almost. It's like, because you just go 5 minutes early and then all of a sudden you're back, but you're in a bit further ahead kind of thing. It gives you not even an easy cop out, because obviously, as we proved, it's quite easy to kind of pick up on it and go, what the hell are you on about? But it feels, it's just kind of like, how are we going to get in there? It doesn't matter, because we'll just do a time jump.
Yeah. Also, how did he get a number? how did he get her number?
Didn't she give it him?
Oh, maybe she did. I don't know.
When they were in the prison.
Maybe.
Because they had a little moment, didn't they?
Yeah, maybe.
At one point.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
To be honest, I kind of assumed until she left that she was there when they got there. But then no, because then she's like, I love leaving my kid to come out and do stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to be waking up soon. And then walks out and leaves a load of strangers alone in a clinic.
Yeah, and then you get the impression he's been knocked down, he's non-responsive, blah, blah, blah. They've then rung her, so she's then got to get in the car, unless she lives above the clinic, I don't know, to drive to get there. Yeah, just, and I know it seems like being nitpicky, but to me, when I'm being nitpicky, is when I've had to work hard.
Yeah.
To find something that's wrong. But it's that whole last sequence I remember just sitting there going, this makes no sense to me. They're literally saying to you, just roll with it.
Yeah.
Which in some ways, if I was really engaged with what was going on, I probably would have been more forgiving of it. But by that time, I was kind of just a bit, it kind
of had its chances by that point. Yeah, no, exactly. It's one of those things of it was because everything leading up to it had also been kind of like nonsensical for a lot of it, and just kind of like, how can we get from A to B to C and then to E because we're going to skip D sort of thing. It just becomes more obvious and less easy to forgive for me.
Yeah.
And the brilliant performances, the frankly stunning direction. There was some really nice direction going on in that episode, some really bold, confident stuff. And the fact, the final shot of Jurati walking down the road, I thought it was odd, but beautifully done.
Yeah.
It is beautifully shot. If, as I say, completely odd. I mean, oh, look, there's a random blonde woman walking down the street without any shoes on, but she's walking down the middle of a main road. It's like no one's thought to stop her or anything. Or ask her, "You all right, love?" But there was some really nice shots. There was again, come back to a couple of nice little character moments. Jurati can sing. Let's give her that. It was a nice song. It was out of place, but it was a good performance. Ball Queen again being particularly sort of snipey and sassy. There were some good things to like in the episode, but they were just those character moments.
Yeah.
And the actual plotting and pacing of the episode and the last few episodes, as we said, has just felt so off and stretched and, like you say, just tonally all over the place that I am finding it difficult to stay invested.
And what I don't understand is because even in the episodes, Q didn't pop up that often, but all we've had really is that confrontation at the beginning of the second episode, and we haven't seen, and he hasn't interacted with them again.
No,
I think it was a little brief spot when they were kind of doing the time jump thing, maybe. And they haven't interacted again, and it just. I don't know. As I said, he's like your antagonist or whatever, and you're just not really seeing sort of much of him, and it just feels weird. The whole Q thing just feels weird. I feel like almost they should have explained a little bit what's going on with him, so then I'll be a bit more forgiving of the why he isn't interacting with Picard. And I still come back to that kind of, it feels like they've depowered him just because he's too powerful.
Yeah.
An enemy. But then how it always worked with him is, yeah, he was really powerful and he could fix things with the click of his fingers, but that was never what it was about. He set up the condition. He would always set up the conditions of the test or whatever it was. Then he would just sit back with his popcorn and watch Picard and that lot have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I said, it to me it just feels like he's just not getting much airplay, really. I don't think he should be in like every episode and have like loads of screen time and stuff. But yeah, he just feels underused.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I mean, I like you said, I wouldn't want him in every episode, but I would like to know more about why he's having to take a backseat, because I understand him taking a backseat as well. You know, he's lost his powers. He's feeling, and that's the other thing actually, though. He's lost his powers, so you'd think he'd be like properly discombobulated about that, you know, and properly kind of like put out and kind of like, oh, what do I do, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he's just come straight up with like his evil villain plan to be Freud, you know, and then to get the Soons involved, you know, which is, you know, lovely and everything. But I just would have liked that kind of little bit of almost kind of like uncertainty from him.
Yeah.
Because he's you know, what is he without his powers?
And one of the things as well is like, has he actually completely lost his powers, or is it that he just can't act against Renee?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing; it's not explained.
So I mean, I do get the sense that it's more like he's lost his powers, and because he's there's something not right with him, and which was kind of hinted at sort of earlier on. So I'm still sort of going with it. But yeah, like I said, I just think we're probably at the end of what we've got to say. But I think we're at episode 6, and I feel like in terms of content, I feel like I've moved an episode from
episode 2.
From episode 2, I feel like I've moved an episode. I still think with some real that you could have pretty much. There's so much dead weight you could have cut from those 4 episodes.
No, I completely agree. And then next week we've got a lovely jaunt inside someone's mind cliche to look forward to.
I know, but again, you know, my thing with cliches isn't so much the cliche thing itself; it's how it's handled.
Yeah, exactly.
There's plenty of shows which do cliche stuff, and it's cracking.
Yeah, you execute it right.
Yeah,
and it can be good.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be. You know, it doesn't even have to be different. It doesn't even have to have a twist to it. You can still do a cliche, and it can still work if it's, you know.
Well, the reason they become cliches, right? It's because they work.
Yeah, and you know, I think probably we'll get an answer to the whole him as a kid and his relationship with his mum. I have to say, there's a part of me that's not necessarily that interested in it.
No, I'm completely disinterested, if I'm honest.
You know, I think before I was probably more interested when I thought, and it could still happen, but I thought when I thought his mum potentially was going to be the Borg Queen, then I thought, okay, there's obviously something in the past, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the smart money now is on the fact that it's going to be, and certainly 4 episodes to go. Yeah. I mean, you know, the smart money is going to be on it. It's going to be Agnes.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to take a quite impressive double bluff to pull off otherwise.
I mean, another thing is as well is like, I almost wonder if all that Borg ship and all that sort of stuff gets done on Earth.
Right.
And I wonder if like Picard and that lot are on that ship.
Maybe, yeah, with you.
And that's how they get back to the present. That'd be quite. That'd be quite interesting.
Basically, they get back and have to kick off everything so that they do get back. Sort of thing, almost.
Yeah. Because again, you know, they've got 4 episodes to settle that up, and I unless they manage to get Agnes out, but the Borg Queen is still no, because she's got no body.
That's why she was at the party, wasn't it? But
yeah,
she had no body to go with.
Oh, jeez. Right. On that note,
wraps up, Pete.
So obviously, we've just done 45 minutes of pretty harsh critique on the latest episode of Picard. If you disagree, if you really enjoyed it, and you know, get in touch and let us know your thoughts and why you enjoyed it and stuff. Again, you know, the episode didn't work for me, but there were parts of it that I enjoyed.
Hmm.
You know, and I didn't like hate it with a passion. It just didn't.
Just didn't land for us.
It just didn't land. That's all. And I just felt once I got to the end of it, I didn't feel like, wow, that was a cracking episode. You know, I can't wait for the next episode. I mean, I'm committed to see it out because I do want to see how it all wraps up.
Yeah.
And I still hold out hope that with those cracking first 2 episodes that we can kind of get some of that back. We shall see. But yeah, if you want to get in contact with us, let us know your thoughts. You can do so. Where you can email us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. We're on Instagram, Geek Syndicate. We're on Twitter, Geek Syndicate again. We've got a private Facebook group. Knock on the door, and I shall let you in. And if you want to support this show or any of the shows on the GS network, you can. You can buy us a virtual coffee via Ko-fi. You can subscribe to our Patreon, or you could just drop us a donation. All monies go back into the production of the shows, and we appreciate everyone that has contributed to date.
Good stuff. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time. No, we won't. Actually, we'll just talk to you because we don't have weird cameras in everyone's houses.
No.
Not after I got that restraining order anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for joining us. We will talk to you next time. Have a good week. See you then. Ta-ra.
Live long and prosper, y'all.